I have never seen a man receive such quick karma than Shannon Sharpe. You told your daughter that you was only going to give her $30K for her wedding and that she can serve spaghetti to her guests. And ESPN just kicked you to the curb. Bye, Mr. Sharpe. You paid somebody else. You paid that young girl $23 million. And you lost your job at ESPN. I don't revel in people's losses, but like, when you do that type, it hurts. The fact that your ancestors was like, you know what? Since you don't care about your own bloodline, we gonna make sure that you lose. You don't deserve what we have allowed you to have because you care more about them folks than you care about your own kind. Come on, ancestors. Applause. I'm clapping. Quietly.
So we all know that Shannon Sharpe has been let go by ESPN. You know, and it's been being talked about all over social media, right? But I wanted to do this video because he's responded now to the firing. And he's trying to get out in front of it by saying, you know, he didn't want to upstage his brother because Sterling Sharpe, who was a great wide receiver, I guess is being put into the Hall of Fame. And during this is supposed to be his weekend. This is supposed to be his time. But all that's going to be talked about is his little brother, Shannon Sharpe, and his actual exploits, right? Now, Shannon Sharpe wasn't fired just because of the situation with Gabrielle Zuniga. He was fired because there's been a history, a track record behind the scenes of a lot of bad behavior in regards to Shannon Sharpe with women, right? Because there was another woman, Michelle Bundy Evans. She accused him all the way back in 2010 of doing some very horrific things to her, right? And it was kind of like swept under the rug, or maybe the case was thrown out. He was able to come back on TV, resume his career, right? Then we ultimately seen him on Shannon. He blew up. He became the Shannon Sharpe that most of the people know outside of football. But ESPN did their due diligence, and they did a thorough background check of him. And where there's smoke, there's fire. Because remember, I'm going to say this. Shannon Sharpe is a grown man. You know, a lot of women like Shannon. You know, he's 57, 56 years old, big muscles, former football player. He's rich. He had access to all kinds of women. Why would you want a woman 1 year out of high school? To me, when you already got these other allegations, to me, that already looks kind of shaky and shady, right? He could have had a 27-year-old or a 28-year-old. Why a 19-year-old? Like, what are you doing? And you willing to lose it all for that, right? But let's look into this woman, Michelle Evans, because she has some real serious charges against Shannon when he had to take a leave of absence from ESPN. He had to step down. Now, some people saying that this woman was crazy. She was infatuated with Shannon. But to me, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And as you can see what happened with Gabrielle Zuniga, now you're seeing the same track record all the way back 15 years ago with this same woman. Now, when you're powerful, you got people that look out for you, take care of you. He has some money. He's known. He's a former athlete. So they may have swept it under the rug. He may have got people to come out and run interference for him and try to paint this woman as crazy, right? But she went on and she said this.
We met in actually the press room at the Broncos, April of 2002. And, but we didn't start talking until we met up at a club at Blue 67 in Denver. I don't know if anyone is listening from Denver, but yeah, we were at a club at the same time. We didn't go together. We just happened to both be there. And so he started talking to me, and he started pursuing me pretty heavily from then on. I resisted for a while because, you know, I was a reporter, and I didn't want to mix the two. But he's very charming. And we dated until the 2010 incident. And then it came to an abrupt end because I wanted, you know, we were arguing and he was threatening me and stuff like that after, but I didn't see him again after he.
What led up to that fight, that 2010 fight that you guys, I know that the argument ensued first before he allegedly.
The argument was about the fact that he had removed one girl from his house and put another girl in his house and didn't tell me. And he had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. We were just dating. So I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. Shannon asked me to break up with my husband. And I don't recall for sure, but I think I did. And so, it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me? So that's what it stemmed from. He's not a faithful person, so I wasn't going to be faithful to a non-faithful person. It just doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway.
Can you tell us just broadly, I know it's probably painful to relive this situation, but can you tell us generally what happened that day?
It was fighting, and usually we fought on the phone and not in person. So it was the biggest argument that we ever got in. And he was controlling, he was domineering, he was manhandling me beforehand, and he wanted to have sex, and I told him no. I told him no, because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me, put me to my knees. Got enough of that, he put me on the bed. And, this was all a struggle. So I had said no, and said no, even though I was thinking that. And so it was the hardest. Yeah, this is too hard. I remember he got dressed and he knew what he did. And so, I just kind of escorted him out the door. And then I wasn't going to do anything about it. Sometimes when you're with the person for a long time, it's hard for you to realize that they're being the perpetrator, even though you know it, you don't want to admit it, and there's so much going through your mind. But then he started coming at me. If I tell anybody, he'll use everybody he knows to destroy me.
So this woman she came out. She's putting all kinds of accusations, levying all kinds of accusations against Shannon. And Shannon don't have the support of black women. He don't have the support of the black community like that. He's out there on the island all by himself. But he created this environment for himself. Shannon is on his own because Shannon's been a very arrogant and disrespectful person, man. And I liked him as a football player, but as a person, he wasn't like a good person, man. Like, and he's very evil, right? So we've seen a lot of things that was questionable about Shannon, right? But now people on social media is destroying him and roasting him. They're talking like this.
So after settling the lawsuit with that girl that filed these allegations against him, Shannon Sharpe just got fired from ESPN. And that's on him because as a 50-something-year-old man, you worked your ass off to get yourself to that position where you were about to get a $50 million contract. But you allow your sexual desires to ruin that for you. Because someone your age messing with a 19, 20-year-old girl made no sense. The same way how we tell women to not date men just for money, because sometimes those men that have the money is the same way we should tell men that have money that you should not just date a woman just for her looks, because sometimes those women that look good character. On top of losing that $50 million contract, I'm sure his nightcap show on YouTube is probably going to take a big hit as well. Because if you think about it, a lot of sponsors are not going to want to work with him, even though he settled the case. Moral of the story, men, when you become extremely successful, find ways to control your sexual desires, because that'll be your biggest downfall sometimes.
So Shannon Sharpe done messed around and got himself fired from the ESPN. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Down $23 million and unemployed is nasty work. Do we not understand, people, that lust has consequences? Unhealthy appetites, if you know, you know, have consequences. Diddy, R. Kelly, now Shannon Sharpe, and just recently Anthony Anderson. Watch, they about to cancel his butt too. Watch, something's brewing. I feel it. When are you all going to learn? What did Martin Lawrence's mother say in A Thin Line Between Love and Hate? One night of passion can lead you to a lifetime of pain. Now that fool about to walk around with his tail tucked between his legs, literally. I mean, seriously, that girl ain't never gonna have to work again. She is retired at 19. And she quit her OnlyFans. See? Kim Kardashian wasn't even that good. She could take a few pointers from this broad. Oh, babies.
So now being fired from ESPN, all the sponsorships going, everything, right? Club Shay Shay's, the views are down. Nightcap views are down. He's down bad. Shannon Sharpe decided to get out in front of this again and speak on being fired from ESPN. So he took to his Nightcap show and he said this.
Before we get started, obviously, I'm sure everybody's heard the news by now that I will not be returning to ESPN. I found out this information a little earlier in the week, and really the only thing that I really ask is, like, guys, could we wait until Monday? My brother's going into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I really wanted it to be about him, and I wanted it to be about my family. I know this coming out will overshadow everything that he's worked his entire life for. And unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And so as I told him, as I profusely apologized to him earlier today, he said, bro, stop apologizing. You don't have to apologize. I'm your big bro. I'm going to love you regardless. We all make mistakes. And he says, bro, I love you. So I'm done with this. You're done with it too. Move on. And I really enjoyed my time at ESPN. It gave me an opportunity to bring my audience that saw me really just grow. They saw me, Lakers in 5, and they saw me say all these analogies that my grandparents gave me, and I was able to bring that to ESPN. So I'm very, very grateful for that. But I just wished, of all things, like I said, hey, they did what they felt they needed to do, and I'm at peace with that. But I just wish, guys, this thing could have waited until Monday, because I hate the fact that I'm overshadowing my brother, the first two brothers in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and this is what the headline's going to be for the next couple of days. So, bro, again, I know you told me this, I don't have to apologize, but I'm going to do it one final time tonight, and I won't apologize again. I'm sorry that I upstaged you in this manner. That was never my intent. You've been my hero. You've been my role model from as long as I can remember. And I apologize, and I thank all my fans for supporting me when I was at ESPN and every place that I've been, be it Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Undisputed, ESPN. Thank you guys for your support.
Now, I'm going to say this, right? A lot of our people, man, when we reach stardom, we really believe that going over to the other side of the fence, will keep us there. We really believe that that's a status symbol, because the corporations is going to invest in a black man that's with a W woman or this exotic woman. Anything associated with promoting black family, promoting black love, reinstalling what they was taking from us have to be abandoned. A lot of our people think that, the men and the women, right? And when you get your wake-up call, man, it comes hard. It comes crashing down, because they don't forgive you. They wipe you out. They take everything. When you mess up amongst your people, they may make fun of you. They may talk about you, but your people will accept you back. Black people, the black community will accept you back. They always does. When you mess up in their community, right? And he didn't just get one chance. He got multiple chances. He's been accused more than one time of doing things to W women, and they allowed him to come back. This time, ain't no coming back. No, he's done. They got a new person that they're gonna replace you with. They already been working on that. You're out of here. You're finished. Kaput's going, right? Because you put their community and all those things over yourself. Now you decided to go into Nightcap and do Club Shay Shay later, right? But before all that, you had a whole history of putting your community down, talking bad on black women. And this is why you're not getting support of the black community in the manner in what you should. Because you made a choice. You decided to run over there to them because you thought that their ice was colder. And then you thought that you could behave the way you was behaving amongst them and there wouldn't be no punishment. Are you crazy? That's how delusional this guy is. You thought that you could take that foolishness over there with them W folks and behave like that amongst their women. And they weren't going to punish you. They weren't going to spank you. They weren't going to destroy you and ruin you and take everything. Right? In the court of public perception, your image is done. Finished. Ain't no coming back for you. I'd be surprised if you get any sponsorships. They put their banner on your nightcap or any of those things, man. I guarantee you his numbers are going to plummet significantly. And if I was Ocho, I'd get far away from him as possible, if I can. Because this guy was a ticking time bomb the whole time, man. And for so many years, he had people covering it up to the point where he's so sick, he just kept exposing himself. So now he feel like he got to get out and apologize to his brother because you was upstaging your brother and all this foolishness, man. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think about this, man. I'm gonna cut this video short here, man. If y'all made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Until next time, peace.